Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 13 wraps up on Monday night with Monday Night Football, a game between the Saints and the Buccaneers. Buccaneers favored by 6 in this one. Total is only 40.5, and it kind of looks like it's going to be a slow, sloggy, dragged down, drawn out affair. So I'm going to break down all the ways that we can go about it. We're going to take a look over at Underdog Fantasy and build a pick 'em. We're going to go through all the different plays, the optimal captains, maybe a couple of stretch captains, and then some dart throws to try and help you take down this Monday night showdown on DraftKings, because somebody's got to win and it might as well be you. Let's go.
He's a legend.
Make sure that you go check out the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel. Every single Monday, I post a recap of everything that happened the week before, week 11, week 13, midday Monday. The week recap from the previous week goes up, as well as rankings videos throughout the week, a Rainmakers preview for the weekend. So smizzle.tv/FF will take care of that. Link is down below in the pinned comment. Let's go over to Underdog Fantasy. We're going to go to the pick'ems over here. We're going to take a look at Monday Night Football. So let's get rid of Sunday Night Football. Let's take a look at Monday Night Football. If you do not have an account over at Underdog Fantasy, you can use promo code ALSMIZZLE. That's one word, ALSMIZZLE. And when you deposit for the first time on the site, you can get up to $100 first deposit bonus you can use to make these pick'ems or anything else. This is a disgusting game. I don't know any other way to put it. We are looking at some very specific. Give me higher on receiving yards for him. I don't even know what I want to go higher on. Give me higher on 69 receiving yards here for $50. Submit. There will be more on Monday afternoon because that's the way that they do it. I do these on Sunday afternoon, these videos for you guys so that you can have something to consume. Let's take a look over at the slate on Monday night. The optimal captains. Like, you can see that everything is priced way down. The optimal captains are those first two guys. From the Saints, Alvin Kamara, who has not gotten a lot of usage, but should really, really, really have to be used in this one. You just don't run the ball very effectively against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All year long, they've been kind of up and down. They've ebbed and flowed. We can take a look at their defense if you wanted to see that. But like, typically when you play against them, you'd rather throw the ball to your backside of the backfield and try and pound them into the line. And that's not even how the Saints run things anyway. So Alvin Kamara in the realm of possibility for your optimal captain in this spot. Like I said, this is a very low scoring expected environment. 40.5 is the total in this one. So like on the other side, Chris Godwin has stepped into a very, very amazing DraftKings role here. Since he came back from injury in week 4, 10 targets, 6 targets. He has had no less than 6 catches in any game since returning. Multiple double-digit target games, only 2 of those that he has not had double-digit targets. Has a really high floor, and as we've seen in last week's game against Cleveland, a really high ceiling. Also, we have to kind of monitor this defense. Lattimore is not expected to be back, but he may be back. Like, it's up in the air as of Sunday afternoon whether Marshawn Lattimore is going to be able to play. And we know that Mike Evans has not been somebody who has performed against New Orleans very well, because Lattimore seems to be the kryptonite to his Superman. So if Lattimore's in, then Mike Evans less optimal for me at captain. I would probably shift way towards Godwin in that outcome. If you're going to use either of them, then sure, use Tom Brady in those lineups. But like, it's such a low scoring expected game that they could get there on volume alone with maybe only 2-3 touchdowns in this game total. So the defense is way more in play than usual. Chris Olave, the only outside target for this team that I would say has any sort of upside because of the way that they run their offense, because of the inefficiency in this offense. They're just refusing to go away from Andy Dalton. He has not run the offense very well. There's not much talent for him to work with. He hasn't been like super efficient, and at least like it looks that way because, oh look, he's got 84% of passes, 62, 65, 73, but like, they're really short. They're not going anywhere. Average yards 7, 6, 7. It's disgusting. And they haven't had any sort of health at all. So like, then they lift him around the goal line, and they put in Taysom Hill, who I think we're going to see more of this week. I don't have Taysom Hill as a captain this week. I think that a lot of people are going to play him there on the what if. I kind of feel like the captain's list is extremely short, and the last available captain, the guys that I've already mentioned, Godwin, if you think that Brady can get off against this team, sure, throw him in there. But if he has a big day, it's more likely that Godwin or Evans is going to be there because he offers no rushing upside. So for him to have a captain type day where you are not going to utilize him or not going to utilize the other guys, Godwin and Evans just kind of have to have mediocre days to go along with him. And then you're looking at like somebody like Julio Jones has to catch 1 touchdown. Maybe Brait, who might be back in this game, catches a touchdown. Maybe Gage, who might be back in this game. Like, he'd have to spread it out. Scotty Miller, Otten, all those other off the reservation guys, he'd have to throw 4 touchdowns plus, all to guys not named Godwin. They wouldn't be able to have like that 25-point day, because for Tom Brady to be the optimal captain along with multiple ones of his pass catchers, that's kind of what it would take for him to get there. So very thin list of captains for me this week. And you know what? If you wanted to go with the defenses this week, I think that that's going to be a little bit more in vogue at the captain spot. 3 or more sacks in each of the last 4 games for the Buccaneers defensive line, and they faced the Saints this week, and the Saints have not been very, very good. The Bucs more exploitable this year on the ground than they have been in past the last 2-3 years, but like not really the same thing when you have an offense like they have now. They lost Trask. Sorry, not Trask. They lost their tackle last week. It just, I saw Trask's name, and that's why I'm stumbling over it. They lost Tristan Wirfs, and losing him could mean that the Saints defense, which has been solid in its own right, has more of an ability to get after him and get sacked. So like the normal rule that we have is that I'm really only willing to use 1 defense or kicker in any lineup. And I'm probably on this slate going to open that up to 2. And if you wanted to use and be picky about using something in captain, you can, but like it's still very, very thin. But it is more in play on a game like this where touchdowns and yards are going to be ridiculously at a premium, as opposed to games where offense is going to be more free flowing. But because the game is the game and news changes, make sure that you join the Discord, because there's no way that I can keep you abreast of all the things that change throughout Monday afternoon in the replies of this video. So if you're a channel member on the channel, it costs $5 a month here on YouTube, or the $5 a month over on Twitch. Both sets of that community join together in our Discord community and have access to all the VIP rooms in our Discord. So be sure to join the Discord at smizzle.tv/Discord if you wanted to join the community, get the best value add out of your entire membership, because daily fantasy can be extremely isolating, and joining that community on top of this one really helps with your decision making. Now, there's a few dart throws on this slate. We have already learned about an injury. And because of that injury, I do think that on New Orleans, at least, where did he go? So with JUWAN Johnson out, who's been really thriving in the red zone for the Saints so far this year, with him already announced out this week, I think that people are going to turn more towards Taysom Hill. I do think that he could be around that 20 to 35%. So I'm going to include him in the dart throw range here. I think he's going to play a little bit more at tight end. I think we're going to see some more Taysom Hill plays on the field this week. He has been logging a good amount of rush attempts over the past few weeks, but nothing really stellar. I think we're going to see more of him in the red zone. And the guy that benefits the most is going to be Adam Troutman at only 1,200. Should play more snaps, get more routes run, and more opportunity at only 1,200. On the Buccaneers side, because everybody is healthy, I think that we're looking at more dart throws here in the 5,400 range for Julio Jones, who, like, he's on the field, he's playing, but you got to pay a lot to go get him. And I think that this price is not where people want to look to go get it. Cam Brait, we have to monitor if he is going to be back and ready to play in this one. He's been playing, but he has got that bug that's going around all over the NFL. So somebody like Cade Otton becomes a fade, unless if he's out. If Brait is out, then Cade Otton becomes a really great play at 1,800. And the dart throw of all dart throws is 600 for Scotty Miller. You are hoping to get that one catch. He is on the field getting large A-dot throws. He is their down the field option, because Mike Evans has not been able to connect a lot this year. Chris Godwin is basically a short to intermediate route guy at this point. They don't have a field stretcher. And that field stretcher that they have utilized has been Scotty Miller most often. At 600, if he latches on to the end of one of those, it automatically pays for itself. You have to get lucky with this one. It is no more than a dart throw, but at 600, it doesn't have to be, because touchdowns are going to be at a premium on this slate. So prepare yourself for a really ugly Monday Night Football game. If we get a great game, even better. Let's go over to Fantasy Labs and take a look at what we have over there and what we can do with the lineup builder on Fantasy Labs. Let's take a look over at Fantasy Labs. You can go and get a subscription over there if you would like at smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. That link is also down below in the pinned comment. Great tools that they have for every different sport. NFL, college football with the season ending at this point, NBA in full swing. MLB starts again in April. So if you get that 8-month subscription, it's the best value that they have. Golf is running every day, NHL running every day, and they have a lineup builder as well as projections for every sport. I said that I don't normally allow defense in captain. If you wanted to allow it, you can just allow it in the captain spot. I always allow them in the flex. Let's take a look at the rules that we build. If you have a captain quarterback, which I don't think you're going to have this week, but if you do, make sure that you're pairing them with at least 2 of their wide receiver, tight end, or kicker, because kicker correlates very well with a quarterback scoring, at least on the correlation matrix. Pair your captain quarterback with one of the skill position players from the other team, at least one. Captain wide receiver, use their quarterback. Captain tight end, use their quarterback. I don't think you're going to be using a captain tight end this week either. Limit to at most 1 defense or kicker from the same game. You can expand this to 2 for this particular slate if you want. And then you can go over here either to player groups and build a group of low projected percentage players that you want to use, or you can do it over in the custom rules even easier by just adding this one rule from positions. Add at least 1 player from running back, wide receiver, or tight end where their projected percentage is less than 25%, and it will force at least 1 low-owned player into your lineups. We'll click generate and realize that you're not just going to do that over at Fantasy Labs and click generate the first time. It's going to take a lot of massaging and looking at the percentages that you get, the allocations, the correlations, and the combinations to make sure that you get what you want out of every one of these lineups, because you're not just going to go over here, click generate, upload them to DraftKings, and start printing money. That's just not how it works. So take your time with these lineups. It's a tool just like any other to help you save time, because everybody works a really busy day and you want to come home and be able to enter lineups and have fun. So whether you are going to enter the big dog tournament or you're entering one of the mini max, Fantasy Labs will help you find out if you are the next great mass multi-entry player. So good luck on Monday Night Football. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.